Welcome to FRCMedia News for Thursday, March 25th, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. How have Fall River residents and businesses been touched by the COVID-19 pandemic? We take a look as part of our special series on the impacts of the pandemic in Fall River 1 year later. As we exit winter, how did Fall River fare in helping the homeless? And we meet Fall River's 2021 Youth of the Year. All that and more coming up. We start with the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic. This week, Massachusetts entered Phase 4, Step 1 of reopening. That allows large entertainment venues such as Fenway Park, Gillette Stadium, and TD Garden to open to fans at 12% capacity. Gathering limits for other event venues and in public settings will increase to 100 people indoors and 150 people outdoors. Outdoor gatherings at private residences and in private backyards will remain at a maximum of 25 people, with indoor gatherings remaining at 10 people. In terms of the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine, those 60 and older, K-12 teachers and staff, and other essential workers, regardless of age, are now eligible to get vaccinated. In Fall River, the city is working on reaching out to those underserved to get them vaccinated. Mayor Paul Coogan tells us in the meantime, the city is still looking for additional doses of the vaccine for its regional vaccination site at Bristol Community College.
I'm hearing this is going to break shortly, within the next couple of weeks, but right now, we don't have enough doses. We're still far down from the other counties. When you look at it, I sent another email out over the weekend about contrasting us with Hampton County, which has 95,000 less people, 14,000 fewer positive cases, yet we have 45,000 less vaccines in Bristol County than they do. So, the numbers are just jarring, and I just don't understand why when all we talk about now is fairness and equity, we got shuffled to the side.
Here is the latest list of locations distributing the COVID-19 vaccine. Everyone can pre-register now for an upcoming appointment at a mass vaccination site. The closest one to Fall River is at the former Circuit City store in Dartmouth at 479 State Road. Visit vaccinesignup.mass.gov. When eligible, you can also seek and set appointments at vaxfinder.mass.gov. Here are the locations in Fall River that are distributing the vaccine. CVS Pharmacy has 3 locations at 1620 President Avenue, 550 Pleasant Street, and 245 William S. Canning Boulevard. You can call 1-800-746-7287. Walgreens has a location at 369 Plymouth Avenue. Call 1-800-925-4733. Stop and Shop on Rodman Street is also providing the distribution of the vaccine. You can call 774-627-1226. The City of Fall River is still organizing a clinic at Bristol Community College. The college is not coordinating appointments, so please do not call. Appointments can be made online only. Health First Family Care Center on Quarry Street is working with its eligible patients to get vaccinated, but public appointments are also available. Call 774-627-1226. And South Coast Health continues its vaccination clinic at the Liberal Club on Star Street. Appointments will be made exclusively through the hospital's MyChart application. You can get the latest vaccine information and an updated list of sites in Fall River by visiting our webpage, frmedia.org/COVID-vaccine. We continue our series looking back at the impacts of COVID-19 in Fall River 1 year after it began. The impact of the pandemic was felt across the city by both our residents and businesses. COVID-19 restrictions implemented by Governor Charlie Baker resulted in the sudden closures of dozens of local businesses, something they had never experienced before. Rick Kidder, co-CEO of the One South Coast Chamber, says the reality hit the local economy hard.
And I think for the business community, there was kind of shockwave after shockwave after shockwave that was followed by a sense of reality that this thing is big, it's important, We have to be careful, we have to be vigilant, and we have to do the right things. And I think there was generally real faith in the governor's leadership, that he wasn't closing things willy-nilly, that we were actually going about something that actually followed the science.
Kidder says the chamber was in a position to serve as a support system for local businesses.
When it came to serving the member, the best thing that we could do was to get the right information in their hands and then be on the other end of that phone or the other end of that email when somebody contacted us and said, I don't know what to do. And there were always resources for us to be able to put them with people who could help them. But in the midst of that, of course, there was a tremendous amount that the federal government and state governments and local governments had to do to adjust to all of this. And actually, while it seems that government normally moves at a glacial pace, it's actually remarkable how quickly resources came to bear to help businesses keep their doors open. There will be, and we still don't even know the extent of what that fallout is going to be in terms of business closures. But what we do know is that we could be there to help them get the answers they needed. And that was really our best and greatest strength.
Kidder goes on to say that financial support from the state and federal government was truly a local business lifeline.
Had it not been for some of those programs, whether it was the EIDL, whether it was the PPP, had it not been for some of those programs, we would not be surprised if we picked up the newspaper a year later and half of the small businesses in our region had closed their doors.
Yeah.
That's how important all of that was in order to keep this economy moving. The stimulus checks are wonderful because people have a tendency, thankfully, to recycle those into the economy and to support those businesses. And we strongly encourage people when they receive those dollars, spend them wisely, but to spend them locally, and make sure that we do what we can to continue to support and prop up those small businesses.
Despite the financial support, co-CEO Michael O'Sullivan says minority-owned businesses faced additional obstacles.
The minority-owned businesses definitely had more difficulty navigating things. That was a real challenge, and we tried to help, and we tried to get folks that could help. In many cases, it was a language barrier, that we tried to provide help with. But yes, their minorities definitely struggled a lot more. And a lot of minorities, many of the minorities, they prefer to keep cash on hand. They don't necessarily like to use a bank per se, and the banks, in some cases with PPP and EIDL, they didn't want to lend the money if they didn't have an existing banking relationship. So that made it a little more difficult as well.
As many local businesses struggled over the past year, Kidder says there were sectors of the economy that thrived.
Home repair, home remodel, all of those things suddenly became very, very popular businesses because people were spending an infinitely longer period of time at home, and home was becoming their base of operations for both work and play. And so that's one of those industries that did astoundingly well. I don't think there is such a thing as an economic event without winners and losers. For the reality of it, most of us lost, but there were some winners in there, and bless them for it, because they were able to turn a sow's ear into a really nice silk purse.
O'Sullivan believes circumstances will likely improve for many local businesses as we head through the summer and as more and more people become vaccinated.
September 2021, when the kids go back to school, hopefully everybody's back all at the same time, all full time, not virtual. I think that's going to be the first. That could be the first time that the world feels more normal than it has in a long, long time. And then that's when I think that you can start to look for things like growth and additional opportunities for businesses. A lot of it's going to depend upon the consumer confidence and the consumer's willingness to go out and be out and shop and to be closer in more of a crowd and that sort of thing. But I think we're going to start to see that in the fall.
Fall River has always been a place where more people than normal have faced financial hardships. But as businesses closed from the pandemic, many more people became furloughed or even laid off. This meant local social service agencies were relied on more than ever to help those in need. Last March, at the onset of the pandemic, the United Way of Greater Fall River took the lead in organizing other agencies by holding weekly meetings to devise a plan on how to serve our region.
Collaborating was first and foremost on our minds. We can't do this alone. We have no idea what we're facing. Really, no one did. So we weren't alone. I don't think we felt vulnerable or ill-equipped. No one really knew what to expect, what to anticipate. And it was a day-by-day kind of thing. But what we did know was that we needed to work with our community partners and come together to collectively address what was going to happen and, eliminate duplication of effort, be as efficient as possible, and first and foremost, remain safe in everything that we did. So that was key. That was paramount for us.
The increase in local demand meant there was a need for additional financial resources. The United Way used its grassroots organizing skills to raise thousands of dollars from local and regional donors.
It was an amazing response from our community. We have raised individually for our COVID-19 relief fund close to $400,000 above and beyond our regular campaign that supports lots of initiatives in the community. And then through support from the South Coast Community Foundation and the Governor's Wife's Fund and the Executive Office of Health and Human Resources, that number has grown to close to $740,000 above and beyond our annual campaign that we were able to infuse into the community. We gave 2 rounds almost immediately, emergency response, and then sort of as the summer approached, things that would support enrichment activities for our youth who we know were sort of kind of floundering. And right now we're in the process of our 3rd and final round to close out the COVID-19 Relief Fund to support those efforts that continue as we sort of feel like we're in the recovery stage. But that could be ongoing for gosh, who knows how long. So
one of the greatest areas of need for local residents impacted by the pandemic was their ability to feed their family. Citizens for Citizens in Fall River was one of many organizations that expanded its food pantry to make sure all local residents were able to put food on the table.
So we were serving, prior to the pandemic, between 200 and 300 households a month. And by July, August, we were close to or a little above 800 households. And we actually upped our ante and we were providing food that would last 3 to 4 weeks. We partnered with some local markets, which they're telling us thank you so much, because if we didn't, they would have probably gone out of business. But we work with the Boston Food Bank and, our area markets, the Stop and Shops, the Shores, the Gold Medal, the Walmarts would send us food, and it was really, really necessary and needed.
For most people, the availability of 3 federal stimulus checks combined with additional unemployment insurance is allowing them to survive. But Barabee says getting back to where we were prior to COVID-19 will be a struggle for many.
I think, unfortunately, it's going to take a long time for people to dig themselves out of the hole that they're in. People are behind in rent and mortgage payments and utility bills, and that's weighing on people. I think it's going to be a while where people it takes a while to get out of debt. Like if you don't pay 1 month's bill, how do you ever catch up without some type of assistance? So, I think it is going to be a while. It's not going to happen overnight.
Smith says we should not look forward to adapting to a new normal from the pandemic, but rather a better normal, one where local social service organizations can more effectively service the community.
I think that we can take what we've learned in this period of time over the past year or so and create a better normal for our community, folks working better together, the opportunity for us to realize that we can quickly come up with a solution that problems don't have to be so overwhelming and that we can do it together without feeling so competitive with one another. We're resilient. We're really an amazing community that we should be proud of.
Watch our complete interview with the United Way and Citizens for Citizens tonight at 9 p.m. and with the One South Coast Chamber at 9:30 p.m. on Channel 95. You can also watch or listen to all the interviews in our series at frmedia.org/oneyearlater. As we enter the spring, there is still concerns over the plight of the homeless in Fall River. This past winter, the City of Fall River's Community Development Agency worked closely with Stepping Stone's First Step In shelter to get a handle on the city's homeless situation. It worked on establishing a permanent overflow shelter at the Tamau Center on Bay Street. That shelter serviced close to 90 homeless residents this winter. Substance abuse and mental health challenges are still among the most common factors of homelessness in the city. And add restrictions caused by COVID-19, finding spaces became a bigger challenge.
Before, they would hang out at the library when it was open. They could go there. They could go on the computers. They could go there and read books. And now there's no place to go. They would sit down, stay warm and have a cup of coffee at a Dunkin' Donuts or go to a McDonald's or a Burger King. I see them more on the streets. There really isn't a warming center because when it gets really cold out, due to the fact that, social distancing in a building, you can't have, normally we do the warming center, but unfortunately this year we weren't able to do that.
Thanks to correspondent Brian Fraga for producing this story. You can see more video and read Brian's complete report on our website, frmedia.org. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Wait staff, Harry's Restaurant, located at 270 South Main Street, is looking for full and part-time wait staff, experienced to serve customers in an established family restaurant in a fast-paced environment. Job number 146-75059. COVID-19 Vaccine Support Pharmacy Technician, CVS Pharmacy, located at 1620 President Avenue, is in need of a full-time COVID-19 Vaccine Support Pharmacy Technician, responsible for administering the COVID-19 vaccine and filling prescriptions. Job number 146-73487. Maintenance Technician, Nexus Property Management, located at 251 South Main Street, is seeking a full-time maintenance technician, skilled in various building trades to respond to work orders and repair problems experienced by tenants and owners at various properties in the Fall River area. Job number 146-72090. Boston Market, located at 30 12th Street, is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Third Shift Supervisor, job number 146-78751. Third Shift Cook, job number 146-79065. Whirlpool Corporation, located at 88 Current Road, also is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Financial Accounting Senior Analyst, job number 146-74344. Group Leader, Novo, job number 146-74342. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
The COVID-19 vaccine is here. The distribution of the vaccine is taking place in phases. Soon everyone will have the opportunity to get vaccinated.
According to the CDC, getting the vaccine helps lower the risk of contracting COVID-19, along with reducing the severity of the virus if you get sick.
It also protects your family and the community from infection.
After receiving the vaccine, we encourage you to continue to wear masks, wash your hands, and practice social distancing.
The vaccine is provided free of charge for all Massachusetts residents. Appointments are required.
Find out more about when you can receive the vaccine and schedule an appointment. Visit mass.gov/COVID vaccine or by calling 211.
Protect yourself and those around you.
Stay informed.
Secure your spot and get your shot.
Get your shot.
Get your shot.
Get your shot. Get your shot.
Welcome back. Dozens of seniors in Greater Fall River, Taunton, and Attleboro rely on the Elder Nutrition Program at Bristol Elder Services to provide education, counseling, and nutritious meals each weekday. Program Director Deborah Avila Carrero says the program provides a vital lifeline for area seniors.
Right now, we are delivering about 1,250 meals to homebound elders. In the past, we still want to continue with a congregate meal at the congregate sites. What that was individuals who were 60 and over would go to a congregate site and get a nutritious meal, and they would also have the opportunity to socialize. Because of COVID, we haven't done that since March of last year. It's been a year. But we do have some grab and go sites where individuals can go ahead and grab the meal for the day.
As the program faces COVID-related restrictions, Ms. Avila Carrero says meeting the dietary needs of the clients has been a challenge.
With COVID, we were able to deliver, but with a caterer, sometimes we lacked in getting different things in. So we had to make some changes to the menu, sometimes last minute. If we couldn't get potatoes, which were for something that met vitamin C, we had to get something else so that we could meet the same requirements from Elder Affairs. And then if somebody is on a low or a diabetic diet, they let us know, and we let them know that they're going to get a modified diet, which is a low sugar dessert. If somebody needs therapeutic meals, like a renal or pureed meal, they have to let their case manager know, and we would then see if they qualify for that meal.
The Elder Nutrition Program not only provides needed meals, but also serves as a safety check on seniors who are isolated or have no immediate family members nearby. Throughout the pandemic, staff is still able to carry out this vital service.
They have the same roots for as long as they're with us. So they really get to know the individuals that they're delivering to. I like to say that we're not just offering a nutritious meal, but we're also offering a safety check. Even during COVID, we did have COVID restrictions. Our drivers and volunteers were wearing masks. And when they were delivering, we asked that they step away 6 feet, put the meal on a door handle, gave them plastic bags so that they could put the meal in a plastic bag. Or if the person had a little table or chair outside, to leave the meal there, make sure that the individual came out to get that meal, and that they at least said, hello, how are you doing? And if they don't see that consumer that day, they're asked to call the office so that we can call the elder or their caregiver or an emergency contact to make sure that they're okay.
Bristol Elder Services is still accepting applications from those 60 and older with physical, emotional, or cognitive impairments which prohibit them from consistently preparing nutritious meals. You can find out more by calling 774-627-1390. Mayor Paul Coogan and the School Community Partnership late last week announced that Durfee High School senior Ashley DePina Nunes has been named the 2021 Fall River Youth of the Year. Sponsored by Partners for a Healthier Community, the award recognizes youth that have made a positive contribution to the Fall River community. Ms. DePina Nunes was recognized for her strong academic record, as well as her contributions to Durfee's National Honor Society and her community work as a member of the state's Project 351 program.
One of the biggest things I do down at Durfee, especially with my other peers, is kind of focusing on giving back to the community, especially during the times when it's the winter, when it gets cold, focusing on things like food insecurity, getting kids things for sports, perhaps. Things of that nature really is what we focus on overall. And I think one of the biggest things, especially with this year coming in and kind of reflecting on the past year, I've been kind of focusing on how to kind of address discrimination, bias, things of that nature, kind of incorporating that to school curriculum and hopefully in the future.
Ms. DePina Nunes will be attending Brown University this fall to major in neuroscience and deaf culture.
One of the particular interests I have is working with kids who are on the autism spectrum and kids who suffer with disabilities. I focused a lot of that when I was in middle school at Henry Lord. It's one of the big things I contributed down there. So I really wanted to expand on that and kind of work on that in my future career.
We'll wrap up FRC Media News right after this.
La vacuna contra el COVID-19 ya está disponible en Massachusetts y su distribución se está haciendo por etapas. Muy pronto, todo el mundo tendrá la oportunidad de vacunarse. De acuerdo a los estudios realizados y las recomendaciones del CDC, vacunarse no solo reduce el riesgo de contraer la enfermedad, sino que disminuye la gravedad de la misma en caso de contagio, además de proteger su familia y a la comunidad en general de la transmisión. Después de recibir la vacuna, todavía tendremos que continuar utilizando mascarillas, mantener el apropiado distanciamiento y lavarnos las manos con frecuencia hasta tanto nuestras autoridades nos den nuevas recomendaciones. La vacuna es gratuita para todos los que vivimos en Massachusetts, pero se requiere hacer una cita para recibirla. Para saber más de cómo hacer tu cita, por favor visite mas.gov/COVID-vaccine o llame al 211. Protéjase y proteja a su familia. Manténgase bien informado. Haga su cita y vacúnese.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Roscoe. Roscoe is an 11-month-old pity mix. He didn't come from the best situation, but fortunately for him, that doesn't really bother him so much. He is happy-go-lucky, really gets along with everybody, cats, dogs, people. I believe that he would be, good in a home with older children just due to his size and his puppy-like mannerisms. But he, like I said, he is okay with other dogs. He is okay with cats as well. And if you would like to come down and meet Roscoe, come down to Forever Paws Animal Shelter. He would really love to meet you guys. Today we have Missy and Olivia. Missy is the terrier mix. She is 9 years old, and Olivia is the Chihuahua, and she's 10 years old. So these two ladies came from the same house. Their owner unfortunately passed away, so the next of kin did have to surrender them to us. But they're both very, very sweet. Missy is a little bit more outgoing than Olivia. Olivia is a little bit more shy, kind of takes her a little bit more time to come around. But they're both very, very sweet nonetheless. They do love each other, and if it would be a possibility for them to stay in the same household, that would be fantastic. However, if not, we are taking applications on them separately as well. I believe older children would be okay for them as well. Maybe a little bit more of a relaxed household. These ladies are a little bit older, so they don't have that puppy energy. So if you would like to meet either both of these ladies or them individually, please come down to Forever Paws Animal Shelter. They would both love to meet you.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please check out our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and information, as well as updates on the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.